Hi everyone, this is Kim Beasley and I am the social media tool coach. I am coming to you live with Kim Live TV, and today I'm doing a promo interview with Coach Ceil. Say hello to everybody, Coach Ceil.
Hi everybody.
Today I am doing another promo interview with her because we want to really make sure you get an idea of what her show that will be going live in January is going to be addressing, some issues and things like that. Let me tell you a little bit about Coach Ceil first before I get into asking her questions and letting her talk some. One of the things, well, there are several things I want you to know about her. First of all, she received numerous awards in business training, and she is the recipient of Hall of Fame Award for her outstanding achievement in creating a powerful women-owned corporate training company in Los Angeles, California. She also received recognition as the number one most requested mentoring coach for local and national women's small business organizations. She's a former corporate trainer in Fortune 500 companies, and now all of those things wrap up into the fact that she is also a motivational public speaker and an adjunct professor in business communication. So one of the things that I'm going to get her to do now is to unmute herself, and we're going to get started with getting her to talk a little bit about herself, and then she's going to answer some questions. Go ahead, Coach Ceil. Tell us a little bit more, what are we going to talk about and what we're going to cover today? And then I have some questions for you.
Yes. Well, one of the things that I really wanted to, first of all, I wanted to welcome everybody. Welcome to Kim's show. This is really amazing. This is a wonderful show that I think a lot of people are so curious about, and they've always wanted to have this type of show, and finally we do, and we're using this platform that courtesy of Ms. Kim Beasley, who is our social media tool coach expert. And I want to thank you again, Kim. I mean, we are thousands of miles away from each other, but it feels like we're just right next to each other. It's just so nice and warm and fuzzy. So wanted to just welcome everybody. We're going to talk about dating topics. We're going to make this very informal. Ask as much questions as you can. Kim, how are we going to do this? We're going to have people email you the questions, or stream?
Actually, they can, as they're watching the video, they can actually post their questions, and I will pull questions from there. Mm-hmm. And I already have some questions that have come in, and I'll start with those, and then we'll pull questions from the comment thread as we get them. Okay? How about that?
Sounds good. And Kim, just wanted to also let people know the reason why I'm really excited about this is, by the way, guys, I just wanted to also let you know Kim Beasley is also a coach. She is also Kim, would you consider yourself a life coach?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a life coach, a business coach, a social media coach. I've done all that, yes.
Yes, and Kim and I have exchanged ideas, and on various subjects and various topics, from business to relationships to dating to attraction to flirting, right, Kim?
What's that? I don't know how to do that.
And so these are topics that, they're not really that interesting, are they, Kim?
No. They're not interesting at all.
So we're going to talk about them. We'd really like for you guys to throw out those questions, and you can be anonymous, right, Kim? You can be anonymous. You don't have to, to let us know who you are if you don't want to. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to ask any question you want about dating.
Oh, so are we ready to get started?
Yes.
The first question that's come in is a doozer. You know, and I'm coming from the standpoint of well, let's kind of explain the standpoint that I'm coming from. First of all, who is going to be the target audience that you're reaching with this dating show?
Our target audience are single men who are who have been married anywhere from, you know, a year, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. I've coached men who've been married for even over 30 years and have been divorced and are now starting to go back and jump back into the dating pool. They could be anywhere from 20s, their late 20s, to 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And the common denominator is that they are going back and jumping back into the dating pool. Now, the reason why I would like to address this particular market is because when men have been married for many, many years, they have pretty much lost their own identity. Let's face it. You know, when you're a couple, when you talk to a couple, this is a very common scenario. You ask the man, you go, so you should come over for a barbecue next weekend. What does the guy usually say? Ask the boss, right? They'll usually say, and so in other words, it's a joke, but there's the truth to it is that usually when couples have been married for a while, they make decisions together, but at the same time, they lose their identity. So now that they're trying to go back to the dating pool, they're lost. And believe it or not, it actually shows itself in a lot of ways, from even the way they dress, the way they try to initiate conversation. A lot of men that I've talked to have even lost their sense of identity. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to address that, and I'd like to help men bring that back again. And it's not a one-day process. It's actually a process where you look inside yourself and you say, okay, who am I? Who am I? I've lost myself. And this also refers to, I could also say that this would also be something that we could address with women, Kim.
I was getting ready to ask the question that I'm quite sure women are going to watch this video and they're going to go, what about us?
Yes.
We need dating help too.
Absolutely, and I would love to. I would love to address your questions as well, because it's all the same. We're all human. We have pretty much the same issues. We would have the same self-esteem issues, self-confidence issues, everything that has to do with self, even self-hatred, and even being able to forgive yourself. We would like to address that in the show. As a matter of fact, in January, we have a lot of topics that have already started to come up, and if you do have any more topics that you want to bring out and put them on the table, email Kim, send them over to her, and you know, we'll definitely address them for you.
Wow. So, okay, here's the first question.
Sounds good.
How do I put this? Okay, so a guy's in a relationship, and he's friends with the female, and the question comes up, should I be her friend or should I go for more if we start off as friends?
Should I go for more?
Yes, as in should I go for trying to develop a relationship? Or once you're in that friend zone, are you in the friend zone to stay? You know, kind of deal with that, because that's happening a lot.
Yes, yes. I think I just wanted to address two things here, and I want to make the answer very, very simple. You want to ask yourself the question, number one, if you're trying to invest, well, if you're not trying, if you are investing more time with your friend, think about this. Are you investing more energy on this friendship versus your own personal relationship at home? Because if you are investing more time, and I'm talking about getting on the phone with her, texting her a lot, Facebooking a lot, and having these little messages, you are investing yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You are investing, because this is something that you can invest and put onto all this energy onto your wife or your girlfriend, right? So ask yourself that question. You will be the only person who will be able to answer that question. Are you investing more time in her, on her versus onto your own relationship? And if the answer is yes, then you're stepping into the danger zone. And let's face it, emotional affairs are real. And you can Google emotional affairs and read all the stories, read all, even the psychological studies, scientific studies on emotional affairs. They exist. People would say, well, I never had sex with her, or I never really went to bed with her. If you had invested a lot of yourself in her, you shared your day, you talked about your problems with your boss, with this woman, instead of your wife or your girlfriend, you are having an emotional affair. Let's face it. It's not that we're judging, it's just that it's a fact. It is an emotional affair. All you have to do is look at yourself and say, I need to be true to myself. My relationship or this new friendship? And that's going to be my answer.
Wow. That was a lot packed into that punch. But it was good. It's good that you brought that up, because I believe a lot of people get involved with emotional affairs and don't realize they're slipping into it until it's late. And then there's pain, there's hurt, and unfortunately there are people out there who thrive on emotional affairs, who have no intention of going past that. And you have to, I think you have to look at yourself and decide, do you want to put yourself in a situation where you are vulnerable to pain and hurt, or do you think more of yourself and want to look for someone who's ready to invest in a relationship and not just, oh, we can do friends with benefits.
Right. That's right. That's right. Crossing that line, and just like what you were saying, Kim, crossing that line sometimes can be, sometimes it comes at a point where you don't even realize you're crossing that line. Because when you get close to somebody, let's face it, you just open your heart up to that person, right? Now, if that person just happens to be a person that you're also visually attracted to, now it's different. Now it crosses that line. Now you're going to have your self-talk, and you're going to go, okay, I'm going to have to control myself. Maybe I can, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm going to try, maybe I won't. Just having those thoughts. Really, let's think about it, guys. Having those thoughts. There's a part of you that's actually saying it's wrong. But there's also a part of you that's trying to justify that. So you answer the question, where do you fall? Where are your core values? And if you feel that you are lacking what you're looking for in your current relationship, having a new relationship with somebody that you are physically attracted to will not really solve the problem. It's only going to add to the problem. Why not address your issues at home first? See what's going on. Maybe see a therapist. Do something. Talk to her. Have an open dialogue with her, and maybe you can start baby steps. And Kim, this is true, isn't it? When you're in a relationship, usually when the man comes up to us and they go, honey, I really wanted to talk, maybe we can talk, we're open, because women are driven by emotion. Oh, he wants to talk. I love it. We won't show it.
Yeah.
Right? But we like it.
And, I'm single, and I have been caught up in that emotional affair. And so I'm talking from experience. Right. It's painful, and at the same time, it may make you feel good, but you know what? It's like getting high. It only lasts for a moment, and it's not worth the pain. So you have to make a decision. Do you walk away, or do you stay around and hope that it can go from friend to maybe a relationship? You know what? I had to make the decision. I needed to step back. Yes, we can remain friends, but that's it. I can't be personal with this person.
Right. Right. And you know it. I mean, you will be able to answer those questions really yourself if you think about it. That's, assuming that you are not blinded by your attraction with this person, because, that attraction can it can play a lot of games in our mind. It can play with our sense of judgment, and it can actually say, no, I'm just sharing this. And well, let's think about it. Are you sharing something that maybe you should only be sharing with your wife or your girlfriend? Because if she finds out about it, do you think she's going to be upset? Because if she is, then you are crossing the line. Then there's that voice in you that's actually saying, okay, this wasn't really right, but I kind of thought it was right because I'm not really still sleeping with her. I'm just sharing it with her. But think about that question and ask that question. If she finds out, if your wife finds out or your girlfriend finds out, is she going to be upset? If she is, then that's it. There's your answer.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that this question leads us naturally into the next question.
Okay.
How do I deal with insecurity?
Ooh, I like that question. First of all, every person in this world is insecure. Let's face it. We all are. We have our levels of insecurity. Now, your level could be this little or it could be this much. It could be that low or it could be that high. And the level of insecurity that we have is usually based on a lot of things, right, Kim? It could be your past experiences, your family of origin, people who you grew up with. Did you grow up with people who said, you're terrible, you're ugly, you're this, you're this? I mean, if you grew up with those type of people, you will hear those voices, no matter what. And no matter what people tell you, God, I love your skin, or I love your the way you dress, you're not going to hear those compliments, because those voices from your past will always say, yeah, right, sure,
True.
Right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And whether you're female or whether you're male or male, female, whichever, there is some level of insecurity at some point in time in your life.
Yeah.
And the way you handle it, the way you deal with it, the way you get over it will determine the outcome of the type of person you will be. If you continually hold on to your insecurities and allow them to drive your every decision, your every action, you're limiting yourself. You're holding yourself back. All insecurities can do is hold you back. And what you have to do is take one step at a time. Even if it starts off with baby steps, you take one step at a time and you choose what you're going to overcome regarding your insecurity. Maybe you need to break it up into many little things and say, okay, when I accomplish this, then I can work on the next thing. When I accomplish this, then I can work on the next thing. And you make it fun. You make it kind of like an activity where you reward yourself once you complete every step of the way. That way you can look forward to getting over your insecurity.
You have those little baby steps. I like what you said about having the baby steps, because you actually give yourself rewards. And when we get motivated by rewards, it's like little babies, right? When you say to your little baby, you go, oh, good baby. you clap, and the baby just smiles, and they do it again. Even dogs. Right? So even when we reward our dogs or our pets, they do it again. So it's just the type of behavior that you reward yourself, and eventually you start overcoming your own self-limiting beliefs. You start overcoming, and you stop those voices. Kim, I really feel that when we have been hearing those, those voices in our head that say we're fat, we're ugly, we're whatever it is that was told to us before by either an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend or our parents or our brothers or sisters, our cousins, it's something that we can overcome. we can overcome those you know, those self-limiting beliefs and the negative thoughts that we have heard for many, many years. And I like what you said earlier about doing it one step at a time. I like the fact that I'm going to go ahead and say to myself, I will do something today, for example, that's going to make me feel good. Even if it's just as simple as I walk into the supermarket and I'm at the grocery store and I say hi to 3 people, and I greet them, I acknowledge them, I compliment them, I engage in a conversation with them. Engaging in a conversation with somebody where somebody responds to what you're saying builds your confidence, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes. I think that when you get out of your comfort zone, and that's one of the big key things, when you get out of your comfort zone, you will feel so free. And that's what getting over insecurities is all about.
Mm-hmm.
It's
mm-hmm.
receiving that freedom that is right there in your reach.
Mm-hmm.
And just from my own life, I'll give you an example from my own life where I was allowing one particular thing to hold me back. And that was my mindset about different things regarding dating. And there were many little baby steps I had to take. And as I took those steps, I looked back to see where I came from, and I said, you know what? That wasn't so bad. And I went on, took another step. Mm-hmm. And after a while, I stopped looking back because I realized I had come a long way in getting over hang-ups that I had about dating. And now I'm at a point where the hang-ups that I used to have, they're not there anymore. Mm-hmm. And I have that freedom to reach out to others and to allow others to reach into me for developing a dating relationship. Not multiple dating relationships where I have to concentrate on, oh, who am I talking to now? Can't do that. One man at a time is all I can handle. And so I think that when you get to a point where you are free, then you can allow others in who can be free with you.
Exactly. Exactly. It opens up that room for people to come into your life. Removing all those hang-ups opens up your life. You're actually opening the door for somebody to come in. And what's also interesting about this is, I'm glad you mentioned the hang-ups, because those hang-ups are actually baggage.
Ooh, yeah.
Right? Well, if you think about it, if somebody, let's think of a hang-up. You know, somebody, for example, who's cynical. Let's say a person who's just cynical. No matter what you say, no matter how sincere your face is and you try to be sincere, this person is just cynical and there's constantly questioning you. That's a hang-up. Mm-hmm. Why are you cynical? Did somebody try to do something, told you something before, and you know, instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna go through with what I'm saying, they didn't, so now you're cynical, right? So you want to look at your past and you want to say, what actually caused me to be cynical? Because that's my hang-up. And unfortunately, you bring that baggage into your new relationship and dating. So if you don't even realize it, but sometimes you'll just say something, and if your dating partner notices that and she is aware and she has that conscious awareness, she'll notice, okay, he's kind of cynical. Bing, red flag.
What? No, that's not a red flag. Oh, and you know, we get in trouble. We allow ourselves to get in trouble when we don't pay heed to the red flags. They're there for a reason. You know, I've heard some of my friends say that I saw red flags, but.
Yep.
Okay, if you see a red flag and you say but right there, you know something's wrong.
Right. Are you justifying it? right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think because the but negates what came before the red flag.
Right.
So what you're in essence saying is you see something that they're doing that you don't agree with,
Yeah.
but you're negating it so that you can be with them.
Right. Trying to fit a square peg into a round hole.
Thank you. And this advice that we're talking about today, it can go for male or female.
Yeah.
Because you cannot fit a square peg into a round hole. When you see the red flags waving in your face, run! Run! You know, it's so funny because when you stay there and you fight for that relationship, you're gonna constantly fight for it
to the end.
To the end, and this is the thing that I was always told by my mother. Yes, I'm bringing the mother advice in there. My mom always told me, what you do to get a relationship started, you will have to do to keep it going. What you do to get a relationship started, you will have to do to keep it going.
Very true. If you put in too much effort in the beginning, then you're going to put a lot of effort while you're in the relationship. The best relationships are the ones that are just so natural, so organic, right? And you just go, you know, it just feels so natural to be with him, or it just feels so natural to be with her. Those are the best relationships. You don't even have to make an effort. If you're making too much of an effort, there's definitely something wrong, and I love that, because you are. When you start the relationship and you feel there's too much work, then when you're in the middle of the relationship and there's a lot of work, you got into it, right?
Oh yes. Now, one more question, and then we're going to open up the room for other people to come in. This is a question that kind of is the next progressive question after what we just talked about. Okay, so you're in a relationship. Well, you're in a getting to know you phase. And you're waiting for something to happen, and you both know it's going to happen. And nothing happens the way that you want it to happen in order for it to happen. Okay. So you're in the friend stage, and you want to go into the dating stage. And everything is flowing. Everything is free-flowing.
Okay.
But neither one of you wants, the male or the female, neither one of you says anything or takes any action. What do you do?
Well, here's my question to you. Okay. If you were the guy, all right, why aren't you doing anything? That's my question. Because number one, our society is still really, no matter how much women say, I'm independent, I do this, and I can do this myself, and I can do that, believe it or not, women still feel they want to be pursued. This is a society that's based on on our ancestors, where men were hunters, men were providers, and men were hunters, and women were there. And boy, yes, we do like to be pursued, because you know why? We also know that if you don't pursue us, and we're not a challenge, then you have not won a prize. It's hardwired into into your being as a man that you want a prize. Yes. So it's not playing games, and I'm not talking about playing games. I'm just talking about the fact that we do want to be pursued, and even if it's just a little bit, pursue us, right? Show us that you are interested. Now, for the ladies, if you feel that you have feelings for this guy and you are showing it, we're not playing games again. We're not going, I'm not going to call him. He called me yesterday. I'm going to wait until 3 days before I call him back. That's games. Don't play games. Okay? Because men are smart. They know that. They smell it a mile away. And if you are interested in him, show him. At least show him, you know, or talk to him, or even tell him. You can even, and we could, Kim, we could have another session where we can talk about body language, okay, and the words that you use to let a man know that you are interested in him. And these words can make or break whether or not the man will fall for you. That's another session, but let him know that you are interested. Try to even, maybe you can even initiate a time when you can get together, whatever it is. If you're in college, you're in school, you know, just go, maybe we can, you know, you can help me with my history. If you know he's good in history, or he's good in, you can invite him over, or you can invite him over if you have a party that you're going to go to and you have friends over, invite him over. Let him know that you are interested in him. Men like that. They want to feel valued. They want to feel appreciated, you know, and even if you can't say it, I really like it. You can't say it. It's okay.
Oh, so are you telling the shy people? Oh my goodness! Get out of the comfort zone. Oh my goodness!
There's so many ways that you can let a person know that you are interested in them as another human being that you'd like to get to know on a much deeper level. You can ask them questions about what if they say something, they go, well, hockey. Ooh, research, Google, hockey, maybe I'll try. Right? If you're interested in you know, you don't go totally out of your way, but this is actually being selfless, because you're showing that you can get outside of yourself and you can actually be interested in another person, meaning him. Right? You like him anyway. Let's not play games. Show him you like him. Tell him, you know, whatever it is. And same thing for you guys. We definitely like to know that you are interested in us.
It's that word called not stalking. We want to be pursued in the sense that you are courting us, not stalking us.
Stalking. Oh, there's a
totally difference.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good. And I'm glad you brought that up, Kim, because I just had a coaching session with somebody this morning, and she said, I actually helped her get into an online dating website. And cut a long story short, she was there, and she's been, you know, going out with different people. And she went out with this one man, we'll just call him Bob. And after their first date, Bob sent her a text message, and he said, I noticed you were online last night.
Woo! Stalker? Potential?
Okay, you don't do that. Of course she's going to be online. You guys are not boyfriend, girlfriend.
Stalker potential?
Online. Absolutely. As much as you should be online. You have not had any explicit or implicit understanding that you're going to be exclusive.
Red flag. That's a red flag.
Exactly. So you can be online. It's okay if she's online. But don't text her and say, I noticed you were online last night. Ooh, that's creepy.
Red flag! Big red flag. Okay, I'm sorry.
Exactly. And just so you know, and Kim, I'm also going to address the ladies here, because there are women who also do that. So, guys, this goes both ways.
Let me Google. Hold on, what's his name? Where is he? What he do? Girl, let me tell you who he done been dating, who he been done talking to. Oh, girl, I don't know. Come on now.
Exactly.
I understand that you want to check people out. That's why it's always good to have a third party that you know that knows them, so you don't have to get that stalker mentality. Yes, I know in the age of dating, online dating, it's kind of difficult to do that. That's why you have to make sure you use a trusted service.
Yep. I really, to me, I always look at it from the standpoint of if I feel that somebody is questioning my actions, you know, in that case, for example, like what happened to her, that's definitely a red flag, you know. And you don't want that to happen to you anyways. You don't want people to go, why were you online? Or what were you doing? How come I kept calling you yesterday? How come, oh my God, this is so common. I kept calling you and you didn't even pick up the phone. I tried calling you 3 times and you never picked up the phone. Well, maybe the person is busy. Or maybe the person is snoring. I don't hear the phone when I'm snoring.
Oh, you just let out a secret. Oh, you snore. Oh my goodness, this has been so awesome. You know, we could go on and on, but let's open up the room. And okay, let me explain. When we open up the room, that means that we invite other people into our hangout so that they can come in and share with us and talk about the topic that we're talking about. Yes, we're still streaming this live, and the thing that I'm going to say right off the bat, we're hoping that everyone who comes in understanding that we want it to stay clean and we want to keep it family friendly.
Yes.
13 plus, you know, we don't want any X or R. I mean, you know, I want to make it so that anybody who's in the dating age range can learn from it. So, yes, some things have to be watered down just so that we don't get too graphical. But I'm opening up so that other people can come join us and just understand that we have different people who may join us. Yes, and if they don't join us, we'll still be here chilling and talking for the next few minutes as we share more about the next question. You ready for the next one?
Yes, yes.
One question that may come up in a relationship.
Okay.
Did I cause the breakup?
Did I cause the breakup? Ooh, I like that. Painful.
Ow!
Right? Because we've all been there. We have all been there. And sometimes you start questioning yourself and you start saying, did I cause this? When 2 people break up, there's one thing that we just have to remember. At some point in your life, number 1, you were attracted to that person because otherwise that person wouldn't have been your girlfriend or boyfriend. Number 2, you had something in common, right? One way or another, you had at least 1, 2, 3 things in common. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been in a relationship. Number 3, this is where we're going to address that question. Did I cause the breakup? Let's think about this. When 2 people break up, it's usually differences, irreconcilable differences, right? You just don't agree. You're 2 different people. You realized after whatever, after a month, after a decade, after 3 decades, you realize that you're 2 different human beings. And you talk different languages. You realize that, maybe you realize that you probably even don't even share the same kind of food that you thought you did. You thought both of you loved Italian food or whatever, and you don't. So when you break up, you try not to look at it in terms of he caused it, or she caused it, or I caused it. Let me tell you why you don't want to go there. When you're dating and you're walking into a new relationship, the last thing your date really wants to hear is, this is a good example, let's say I'm your date. Okay, I'm your date. Yeah, you know, my ex, he was such a crazy guy. Loony.
Uh-oh, I think we just lost your volume. We just lost you. Check your volume. Okay, you're back.
Okay, so where did we stop? Okay, so let's, pretending I'm your date, right? And I start talking about my ex, and I start talking about how bad my ex is, going back to who's at fault. Let's say I blame him, or I blame me. let's look at it this way. Number one, I'm going to blame him. He's crazy. He's this. He's drunk. He's into drugs. He's into women. He's whatever. You're blaming him? What is your new date going to think about you? He's going to go, ooh, she's going to talk about me that way. Oops, I don't think I want her, right? Okay, so now let's just turn that around and just go, I'm just going to keep blaming myself. So this is the person who keeps blaming himself. I know, it didn't work out because, whenever we make decisions, and I know it's my fault. I shouldn't have done it. I know, and we went out for a walk, and we went to the park, and he got bitten by a duck, and it was my fault. It wasn't the duck's fault. It was really my fault. I shouldn't have let him stand next to the pond. And you keep blaming yourself. What does that tell your date, right? Mm-hmm. Where's your self-esteem? Where is you valuing yourself? You're not showing your new date that you actually value yourself. So when it comes to blaming, and that's basically what the question is, Kim, did I cause it? It's blame. Mm. It's going back to who are you blaming? There's really nobody to blame. If your relationship didn't work out, it didn't work out. You're two different people. So stop thinking about, did I cause it or did he cause it? Think about the future. Think about what you can do better. Because that relationship that you had with that person, if you think about it, made you grow as a person. No matter what you say, no matter how bad that relationship is, you learned from it. You learned a lot of things from it. Sit down and look at it. You might even going to go, okay, what were the things that happened to me after I broke up with such and such and such? Did I become a much better person? Did I become much more patient? Did I become much more goofy as a person? I mean, you could think of things to make yourself feel better, going back to the self-esteem and self-confidence. You can create your own painting. I always say that to my students. We are the Michelangelo of our own paintings. Mm-hmm. And we design our own script. We write our own script. We do have those negative thoughts, and they will exist because they are there. Now, it's up to us to say, I am going to wipe away those negative thoughts, and I'm going to replace them with more positive things about me. So blaming yourself or telling yourself that you caused it will not do you any good. It's not. There's no point. Look at the future and look at what you can do for yourself to make yourself feel better and to know that you're actually moving on.
Wow. Oh. Wow. That's some good stuff. Woo! Thank you so much for sharing today. One last thing before we go. I want you to share where they can reach you, how they can get in touch with you, website, all of that.
You can friend me on Facebook. I am on Facebook. You can friend me at, you can search for me at Ceil Hansen. That's C-E-I-L, Hansen, H-A-N-S-E-N. Or you can go to my website at www.ceildedate.com, and that's spelled S-E-A-L-T-H-E-D-A-T-E.com. You can also reach me on Twitter, and I have a Twitter account, and it is at Dating After Divorce. It's DATINGAFTRDIVRS, and everything is on my website. So, best way to get a hold of me. You can also get a hold of me through Kim.
Yay!
And thank you, Kim. Kim, thank you for this opportunity. Using your platform. This is just wonderful. You are such an expert when it comes to social media, and I talk about you all the time, Kim, to all my coaches, all my friends, exactly, who are also in the industry, because you've done so much.
Thank you
and for all of you out there, by the way, Kim, if you don't mind, just give me a couple minutes here.
Okay.
You people out there who really want the exposure, just like what Kim is doing, for me, and with this platform, give her a call. See her website is right there, socialmediatoolcoach.com. Get a hold of her. And it doesn't matter, guys. Look, Kim is in Missouri. I'm in Los Angeles. And it just feels like she's just like next to me.
Oh, yes.
It does.
My buddy.
Yes, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on Kim Live TV, and I am looking so forward to your show launching in January, and we're still trying to figure out a name for it. So if you have any suggestions of what name we should give her dating coach show, what do we call it, the dating coach show? Please feel free to leave a comment below, and give us some suggestions on what you think we should name her show. Once again, this is Kim Beasley, the Tool Coach, social media tool coach, and this is also
Ceil Hansen, your dating coach.
And we are ending now, and thank you for listening and watching us. Bye.
Bye, guys.